Brad Arnold has always described songwriting as something rooted in ordinary moments rather than grand gestures. He once explained that lyrics often came to him while working outside or standing in a flower bed, letting his thoughts wander until a melody formed naturally. That philosophy shaped the emotional honesty people hear in his music. His songs never felt forced or overly polished. They sounded like real thoughts spoken out loud. This grounded approach allowed listeners to connect deeply because the words felt familiar, almost personal. Arnold never treated songwriting as a performance meant to impress, but as a way to process life as it unfolded. That humility became part of his identity as an artist. Even as success grew, he stayed connected to simple routines and reflective spaces, proving that powerful music does not need spectacle to endure. When the world first heard his voice. For many listeners, Brad Arnold's voice became part of daily life long before they ever learned his name. It played through car speakers, dorm rooms, and late-night radio shows, carrying a tone that felt both strong and vulnerable. Three Doors Down was not just another rock band emerging at the turn of the millennium. They became a defining sound for a generation searching for honesty in music. Arnold's vocals stood out because they were unpretentious and sincere. He sang about doubt, perseverance, and quiet resilience without pretending to have all the answers. That balance made his voice trustworthy. Fans did not feel spoken down to or distracted by image. Instead, they felt understood. That early connection is why his music continues to resonate long after trends have shifted and playlists have changed. A song born in a classroom. The origin of Kryptonite has become part of modern rock folklore, not because it is flashy, but because it is so human. As a teenager in a Mississippi high school, Brad Arnold found himself distracted in class, turning boredom into creativity. Instead of equations, he wrote lyrics about strength and hidden weakness, themes that would later define his career. That song, created without expectation, would go on to reach millions. What makes this moment remarkable is not just the success that followed, but the instinct behind it. Arnold wrote from instinct and emotion, not strategy. Kryptonite resonated because it acknowledged vulnerability in a way that felt brave. It reminded listeners that even those who appear strong have fragile places, and that honesty can be its own form of power. The breakthrough that changed everything. When Three Doors Down released The Better Life, the impact was immediate and undeniable. The album did more than climb charts. It embedded itself into everyday life. Brad Arnold's voice became synonymous with a new chapter in rock music that favored emotional clarity over excess. Songs like Loser and Duck and Run showed that the band's success was not accidental. Arnold had a gift for turning personal insecurity into shared experience, making listeners feel less isolated. Despite the sudden attention, he did not adopt a larger-than-life persona. He remained approachable, grounded, and focused on the music itself. That restraint allowed the band to build trust with audiences. Rather than chasing trends, they delivered consistency, and that consistency became the foundation of their lasting appeal. Growing with the audience. As the years passed, Brad Arnold's songwriting matured alongside his listeners. Albums that followed explored absence, longing, and endurance with increasing nuance. Songs like Here Without You carried emotional weight without becoming overwhelming, allowing people to attach their own stories to the lyrics. These tracks were played during moments of separation, reunion, and reflection, becoming part of life's milestones. Arnold understood that music often finds people when words fail them. He never tried to dominate those moments, instead offering space for listeners to feel what they needed to feel. This ability to grow without losing authenticity is rare. It is why his music continues to feel relevant. The songs did not age out of relevance. They aged with the people who listened to them. Life beyond the spotlight. Away from the stage, Brad Arnold has consistently emphasized balance and perspective. He has spoken about the importance of family, faith, and staying grounded in an industry that often rewards excess. Rather than allowing fame to define him, he treated it as a responsibility. Arnold never pretended that success erased life's challenges. When he chose to speak about difficult seasons, he did so with honesty rather than drama. That approach resonated with fans who valued transparency over perfection. He showed that strength is not about never struggling, but about choosing how to respond when challenges arise. This mindset shaped both his personal life and his music, reinforcing the sense that the person behind the microphone was the same one reflected in the lyrics. Connection that went beyond music. Brad Arnold's relationship with fans has always been rooted in mutual respect. He viewed concerts not as performances delivered from above, but as shared experiences. Thousands of voices singing the same words for different reasons created a sense of community that extended beyond the stage. Arnold often acknowledged that once a song is released, it belongs to the listener. That understanding shaped how he interacted with audiences over the years. His involvement in causes supporting veterans and first responders reflected a belief in music as a source of comfort and unity. He understood that songs can travel where words cannot, offering reassurance in moments of isolation. This awareness deepened the bond between artist and audience, turning listeners into lifelong supporters rather than casual fans. Facing hard seasons with dignity. Like many artists who spend years on the road, Brad Arnold has faced periods of physical and emotional strain. Touring schedules, expectations, and constant visibility can wear down even the most grounded individuals. What set Arnold apart was his commitment to addressing challenges with dignity and accountability. Rather than allowing struggle to define him, he treated it as part of a larger journey toward growth. When he spoke about resilience, it was never framed as triumph over others, but as a personal responsibility. This honesty made his message credible. Fans did not see a flawless figure, but a human one navigating complexity with intention. That realism strengthened the trust listeners placed in him and reinforced the themes of perseverance found throughout his music. The meaning of strength, revisited. Over time, the idea of strength in Brad Arnold's music evolved. Early songs explored vulnerability hidden beneath confidence, while later reflections emphasized acceptance and perspective. This evolution mirrored the experiences of listeners who grew older alongside the music. Arnold showed that strength is not about being untouchable, but about remaining grounded when life becomes uncertain. His calm, measured presence reminded people that resilience can be quiet. It does not always announce itself with noise or defiance. Sometimes it appears as patience, faith, and clarity. This message resonated deeply in a world often driven by extremes. By choosing restraint and honesty, Arnold offered an alternative definition of courage, one rooted in self-awareness rather than performance. A legacy that continues to speak. Brad Arnold's legacy is not confined to dates, headlines, or speculation. It lives in the songs that continue to find listeners when they need them most. His music remains present in ordinary moments, just as it was created in ordinary places. Every time someone plays Kryptonite or Here Without You, the connection is renewed. That endurance is the mark of meaningful artistry. Rather than being defined by noise or myth, his impact is carried quietly through shared memories and emotional recognition. By choosing authenticity over image, Arnold created work that will continue to matter. His voice reminds us that music does not need to be loud to be powerful, and that honesty, once shared, can outlast everything else.